Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. As you can see, it is a little bit later now and a couple of hours have passed since my last video, and I wanna give you another update, the last one for today from my side, the last update today from the anti-government protests in Berlin, Germany at the moment. The demonstration had started in Berlin because the city wanted to ban them, and two courts then said, no, we're still a democracy, you can't do that. And then it started. But of course, the police of Berlin and the Senate, the mayor, and so on, they didn't want that demonstration, of course. It is critical of the government, critical of Merkel's regime, and against these hygiene measures that are in place right now. Of course, Berlin doesn't want that. So what did they do? Instead of respecting the verdict of the courts, instead of letting this demonstration begin, they didn't let them start really. And so more and more people, this is what I read and this is what I heard from people who were there, more and more people were piling up before the demonstration could really go from unter den Linden or Brandenburg Gate to the street of the 17th of June, to the Victory Column, to that area. So people were kind of getting squeezed together. I mean, not that it would be dangerous, like people getting crushed or something, not to that degree, but of course social distancing couldn't be guaranteed anymore under these circumstances. And I think it's very plain to see what is going on here. This was exactly the strategy of the police. This is what they were told to do by the state of Berlin, by the Senate. I think that was what was their plan all along. And then they could say, "Oh, you're not keeping enough distance." And then they could say, "Well, if you wear a mask, it's okay." But of course, in such a demonstration, not everybody will wear a mask. And by the way, that is a completely made up, completely artificial demand, because in Germany, in the public, there is no social distancing rule, there is no mask rule. This is for public transport or for stores, like if you go to a supermarket or something, then maybe, but not on the street. So no matter how crowded it is on a German road, if I go to the city and I walk through the streets there is no rule. This is ridiculous. You don't have to wear a mask, and of course you can walk by other people in a narrow street. This is completely made up what they're saying here, and they use that now, this absolutely made up criterion, in order to end this peaceful demonstration. And regime forces they have attacked citizens and they are arresting people without reason right now. This is Germany in the year 2020, and of course when leftists or colorful people are doing that and the police gets involved, then normally, because they set stuff on fire, or because they are looting stores, or because they are piling up barricades and they attack people, or they attack the police or something. But here, none of these things have happened. As far as I have read, as far as I have heard, as far as I have seen in the videos, this was completely peaceful, and then the police let it escalate, and there was no aggression there before. They just wanted to walk. That's all they wanted to do. They wanted to walk on the streets. And that is no longer possible if you are, if you have the wrong opinion, if you are against the regime of Angela Merkel, then this is no longer possible, and the police will arrest you. And this is what happens now. Of course, the demonstrators, the protesters, they said that or many of them have said that they want to stay, that they will not leave. Even the police said that this demonstration is over, go home. They said, we will stay. And let's see, I mean, there are 3,000 cops there, 2,000 from Berlin, 1,000 from other states, and let's see how long it takes the police to carry all these people off, yeah, to carry them away in handcuffs. Let's see. I don't know what will happen. I hope that everything stays peaceful. Um, uh, yeah, and actually, I would have liked to see that instead of people going home, why don't the police officers just join the German citizens in their protest and do the right thing, huh? Why don't the police officers do the right thing? Why don't they just, maybe join the protesters and also sit down? But I don't think that they will do that because they want their pensions, of course. Yeah? Maybe some of them are actually sympathetic of the protesters, maybe not, I don't know. But of course they want their pensions, and this is why they will not side with the citizens of Germany. This is why they will side with a regime that is actively fighting against the citizens of Germany. That is a regime that is, in my opinion, and it's very plain to see, is controlled by outside forces, not by Germans, not by Europeans even, and they are turning against the European people. They want us gone. And so, as I proved to you in my last videos about the topic, yeah, since April or May, there hasn't been any actual infections anymore. There are a couple of infections maybe here and there still lingering, but this is mostly background noise, what we see. And what we see now is 1 million tests a week and a lot of false positives. 1,500 false positives are to be expected when you do 1 million tests a week, and we don't get more than that. So we get the level that is to be expected as a false positive noise floor signal. So that means there are no infections, at least not many, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 in Germany, but not more. Yeah, it's not a lot, and it doesn't justify any of these measures. Yeah, masks, social distancing. It's ridiculous. It's not necessary. It's not justified. It's just from a science point of view, it's not justified because, as I said, all we see is false positives. The test is not bad, but it is not good enough, or it is not appropriate, it is not good for a low infection regime. And if you do it, you must interpret the numbers correctly, and that means you must include into your analysis that there is this 1% false positive background signal, and you would have to have a signal that goes beyond that in order to conclude that there is an actual infection going on, and the false positive rate, as I said in my previous videos, is below 1%. It's teeny tiny. There are no positive tests right now. This is all overinflated because they do 1 million tests a week. Absolutely insane. Okay, but of course people are dumb, and the media is not spreading this information. They're not talking about it. And the political parties, the regime and the pro-regime media, the state media, they're calling German citizens now words that I couldn't use on YouTube. This video would get deleted if I used these words. They use the dirtiest words. They use the N-word for German activists now, for German citizens. They use the N-word. They call them like the end of a digestive tract. Yeah, they call them, I think I can say scum. Yeah? They call them scum, subhumans and all that stuff. So this is what the regime calls upstanding German taxpayers and citizens now. Absolutely scandalous. And in Berlin, they're just randomly arresting law-abiding citizens. Absolutely insane. I said many times before in my videos that Germany is not a democracy. It probably has never been a democracy. And if you still think that Germany is a democracy, then you must be dumb, deaf, and blind. Take care. I go to bed now. Servus, Kameraden.